In the eyes of Western, it's called collagen. Collagen, right? And this collagen is the most complex molecule on earth. Insulin is 48 amino acid and it still foxes us. Collagen is a mere 1052 amino acid. And it has its own science, it has its own memories, and collagen is the most lasting, and therefore our hide can survive for 1,000 years. And about collagen, about cell, medical science knows a little, but about collagen knows nothing. And therefore, Dr. Majumdar, Sthabir, have publicly declared that medicine is suffering from basic binary blindness. It doesn't know about the cell, doesn't know about the fiber, and it claims to research on stem cells and fibers. I think medicine is killing you. I'm reminded of a lovely story from Vatican. A bishop went from Vatican to another city to deliver an oration. He landed in a hotel and wanted to dash off a letter to Vatican. He came down and asked a boy who was playing around, "Hey boy, where is the post box? I want to post this letter." He says, "Holy Father, give it to me." He posts. The boy comes back and the Holy Father is very effusively thankful. So he tells the boy, "What can I do for you?" He says, "Please, Father, it's okay, I have done service." "Okay, so do like this. Tomorrow in this hotel I am delivering an oration on how to go to heaven. Take this pass." And the boy went into fields of uncontrollable laughter to the point of making Holy Father feel nonplussed totally. Why are you laughing so much? The boy said, "Holy Father, you don't know where is the post box and you want me to take you here." If I am asked, what is medicine's biggest fault? Absence of humility and conniving at some very, very ordinary truths. Let me share with you some truths about cancer and some truths about coronary. I am a very busy heart specialist, getting patients from all over India, and I have at least prevented 10,000 bypasses, an equal number of stents. Incidentally, a bypass referral gives you 50,000 rupees cash kickback. That's the current rate. I just write, "Mr. Rai, Dr. Rai, इनका bypass कर देना." Next day the envelope arrives. "Thank you, Dr. Kothari, for the hearty matter." And today's stent kickback is 80,000 rupees. 80,000. Cancer cells seen as demons is our forefather. Evolution shows that before life arrived, there was a biobroth of multiplying cells without any definite order, and that pre-life was cancerous. This is from National Cancer Institute, Bethesda, America. So, cancer is my forefather. From cancer I come, to cancer I return. Therefore, cancer is not the demon you think it is. Then comes to defining the cancer cell, and the only definition we have cancer cells are what they are, for they do what they do, and they do what they do, for they are what they are. It would shock this house to realize that still high blood pressure is waiting to be defined. Arthritis is waiting to be defined. Infection is waiting to be defined. Heart disease is waiting to be defined. And I have a very ordinary question. How can you refine what you can't define? Basic stuff. Therefore, cancer cell defies definition. And 400 tests between cancer cells and so-called normal cells have yielded no differentiation, and today cancer is known as super differentiated normal cell. Super differentiated, not only normally differentiated, super differentiated, a stable cell which pays no hit to nobody. That's clear? The radiotherapy and chemotherapy started with the idea that cancer cells multiply faster and they will succumb to these agents quickly. The jejunum, the iron, that is a small intestine, bone marrow and hair follicle, have a cellular turnover rate double than the fastest growing cancer. So when you give chemotherapy, maybe the latest targeted, before one cancer cell may be killed, 1 million normal cells must be killed. The story. But the story doesn't end there. You must go into why chemotherapy arrived in the first place. Whether chemotherapy like time, does it exist? Chemotherapy like sunset and sunrise, does it exist? And let me tell you, there is no sunset, no sunrise, and no chemotherapy. Second World War, mankind is known to progress. So First World War, they used sulfur bombs. Then they made progress. And during Second World War, they used nitrogen bombs. When somebody asks me about progress, I think of 3 Gandhis who were murdered in India. The first Gandhi was killed with a revolver which cost, God say, 500 rupees. Then we made progress. So we made a sieve of another Gandhi using AK-47 costing at least 15 lakhs of rupees. Then we made further progress and we blew up third Gandhi using a bomb whose impact was traveling 12,500 meters a minute. See, that is progress. So Second World War, they realized that when they exploded nitrogen bomb to a human being, the entire skin came out. And if skin can melt, what is cancer? So in 1947, nitrogen mustard methotrexate was born. And subsequently a science came up, which was summarized by Karnofsky of Sloan Kettering Institute. Agents known to cause cancer in animals should be tried out against cancer in man. No kidding. The same cruel black print. Agents known to cause cancer in animals should be tried against cancer in men. More of the story, there is nothing like cancer therapy. And if you see current medical diagnosis and treatment, go to volume 2009, 47th edition, go to Hugo Rope, that's a lady, where there is a paragraph, next to natural incidence of cancer on aging, the commonest cause of cancer today in mankind is cancer chemotherapy itself. When you give cancer chemotherapy, you are inducing another cancer. When you give radiotherapy, you introduce another cancer, and none of them work effectively against cancer, but destroy normal tissues and kill the cells faster. So from National Cancer Institute, Bethesda, Maryland, Harding Jones, 1956, Transactions of New York Academy of Medical Sciences, Volume 98, there is a 50-page article. They made a world survey of all cancers at all sites to conclude that the untreated outlive the treated, both in terms of quality and quantity. Therefore, we must realize cancer is not a demon. You've seen Martha lady. Oh, I saw it only 5 times. In Hartford, Hereford, Hampshire, hurricanes hardly ever happen. Ha, ha, ha. And that train was supposed to move. It is ha, ha, ha. So Doolittle wants to fleece his daughter some money. He asked Eliza, give me some money. You are my own flesh and blood. You are my own flesh and blood. So cancer is your own flesh and blood. It's not an alien. It's you. Okay? So if it is you, God says Prakriti has no solution. Come on, live with it. And secondly, it has been generously proved now that cancer does not kill. Cancer dies with you, doesn't want to kill you unless you are very keen on going to Tata Memorial. That is another story. Cancer as a cause of death, ladies and gentlemen, has been negated completely. Secondly, early diagnosis has never been possible. Never, ever. Because cancer is so decent that it takes 15 years before it shows. Not deceives you. It takes 15 years before a cancer can be seen. So there is never, it's like Indira's Garibi Hatao. Good slogan, but bad in reality. And secondly, Sushruta wrote 2,500 years ago, he was pre-Christian, pre-Hippocratic, that arbuda, a tumor, is of 2 kinds, Soumya and Ghatak. Look at the terminology. Soumya and Ghatak. The physician may trifle with the Soumya variety, but should not trifle with the Ghatak variety, lest the patient gullifies you later. And sure enough, in 1966, the good Ernst Borges of Tata Memorial Hospital, the best doctor I have met so far, really. I had taken a teacher to him, a very rich teacher who was running coaching classes. I had taken him. Manu, what is he doing? I said, sir, he is a teacher, no charge. After that, Mansukhani went out. I went to Dr. Borges. I said, sir, he can afford to pay. He said, but I can afford not to be paid. Okay. So, we must realize that there is nothing like demonstration. So, Sushruta wrote, don't you trifle with the Ghatak variety. In 1966, after diagnosis of his cancer, Borges got operated by his registrar at Tata Memorial, and like our goddamn president did not run to England and America. I was sad when Radhakrishnan went to England for his cataract, and apna VP Singh goes to California, and our Sanjeeva Reddy goes to don't get it. Okay. But this man got operated, and after being operated, when they opened the abdomen, it had spread far too wide. The cancer was with Dr. Borges for 25 years, and he did not do. So, group of England had said, cancer is discreetly silent for a long time. He is discreet. Sojourn. That's why Claude Alvarez, when he published my book here, because initial publication was around so baseline, myths and realities of cause and cure. He says, Manu, you have shown the friendliness of cancer, the niceness of cancer, Manu's benignness of cancer, so we name it cancer myth, no, the other face of cancer, and that's a Bhavamosha, you call it cancer and onyo porichya. So the Anya Parichya is cancer never has had a cause. I like stop smoking. Okay. There was a time until recently when tobacco was known as divine tobacco. Today, tobacco is against Parkinsonism and Alzheimer. It is against bowel cancer and breast cancer. Bowel cancer and brain cancer. I am waiting for a day when in America somebody will drag a physician who will give up smoking, and then he develops brain cancer. He says, I sue you for $1 billion. You knew that smoking prevents brain cancer and you asked me to give it up. And should you really give up fags? Mark Twain, when he was 70, bursting with health and vitality, was asked, what is the secret of his health? He said, I made 2 simple rules in my life. I never smoked when I was asleep. And at a given time, I never smoked more than 1 cigar. And Churchill, who drank like a fish, smoked like a chimney, ate like a connoisseur, never excised. He turned 81, and a pretty girl like her or somebody else goes and clicks the photograph and says, sir, I hope to photograph you next year also. Churchill says, why not, young men or young lady? There is nothing wrong with you. You should be here next year. Therefore, the myth we have created about, in my family, my dad and his 4 brothers, there was no tobacco which they did not enjoy. In Karachi, I used to make a hookah for it. And like a Mughal king, he would do gul, 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 and I would envy. Cigarette, bidi, cigar, imam, tobacco, everything. And all 5 brothers lived beyond 80. No depression, middle class. No depression, no Alzheimer's, no arthritis, no coronary, no cataract. In scintillating brilliance. So I, for one, if you are going to get cancer, Harvard Temin, the Nobel laureate for reverse transcription, fought all his life against tobacco to eventually die at the age of 60 of lung cancer. Paradox. And therefore, you shall not tell a patient. So in fact, Mencken, a great journalist, he said, hygiene is the corruption of medicine by morality. It is not doctor's task to say what you eat, what you don't, what you drink, what you don't. Let them do what they like to their heart content. In case they run into trouble, you bail them out. And he says, at the end, medicine is not to preach repentance, but to offer redemption. 85% blocked, the heart gets 100% blood, because the remaining 15%